Hello. You know what I should bring back?
What's that?
Hello, Internet. Today we're going to talk about a knife maker that I've probably known the longest out of any knife maker I've ever known. This is, no joke, it's Denny Jokela.
Knife trap.
Most of them have died at this point.
That's true, a lot of them are dead.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right.
The motor's going. Anyways, we have knives to talk about.
We do.
Yeah.
Denny makes fixed blades and folders, which is one of the few people that still makes folders up here.
Pretty
Yeah.
wild folders, I
Yeah.
will say.
Yes, friction folders.
So, Denny reminds me in a pretty good way of Daryl Ralph a little bit, or at least old Daryl Ralph, because of like the materials he uses and like he kind of goes
detail.
well, and he kind of goes after it, like
flashy.
yeah, a little flashy. Like I mean, that is a shitload of abalone.
It's very square too.
Yeah, it is. But you know, and Denny does everything is all hand done. Like there's, I mean, he has a facing machine to where he'll face the steel to get the right thickness, but grinds almost every single thing is done by hand.
Mm-hmm.
And he likes Damascus. He likes, you know, snake and ostrich and all that kind of
Exotic
thing.
materials.
Yeah, this was actually made by Big State Leather, not him, which is why it's the only sheath that's
Not quite
like,
as intricate.
not quite as crazy ornate.
Yeah.
But he always does really cool and interesting
I mean, that one's
stuff.
pretty nice.
I like that one quite a bit. It's a little bit thinner. It's a little bit more streamlined.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for having a similar sized blade, that's a hell of a lot of handle. right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But I mean, it's not like you're not getting something for your money. That's a lot of money's worth of abalone right there.
He probably made so much, and then he realized afterwards, I could make this smaller, and then this is probably the second one he made.
He's made folders before though. Like we've had friction folders of
for
his
sure.
in.
I would almost say this is the first one he made, and then he's like, I'm so sick of grinding this shit. I'm just gonna leave it bigger.
Or maybe the abalone was chipping or something.
It could be, yeah. I mean, the longer you work abalone, the more chance you have of effing it
I
up.
mean, it's just fragile in general.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is dirty.
So is that a dagger, a short sword, or?
Yep.
It's a, yep.
It's whatever you want it to be,
Could be
man.
a fighting knife
Yeah.
What's
because of
that?
the S-guard.
Stellar Sea Cow handle on that?
Is it?
That's a big chunk of Stella.
That is a big chunk of Stellar Sea Cow.
That's a
yeah.
nice chunk of Stellar
And
Sea Cow.
Damascus
I like how he
pommel.
did
Yeah.
green, white, red, black, and then yeah, Damascus pommel.
Yeah, he's a big fan of multiple liners, so he'll do like the white and green is something that he really likes
Is
to
it
do.
G10 or is it the cardboard stuff?
You know, I'd have to ask him. I'm betting it's the cardboard stuff because he's an old school guy.
Yeah.
And the G10 liners is more of a little bit more of a modern thing. And that's the most recent one we got from
That's
him.
nice.
I do like that one
core.
quite a bit.
Yeah, VG10 core.
I mean, that is thin.
Did
Yeah.
he do the Damascus himself?
No.
No.
VG10, it's a VG10 core, carbon fiber bolster, abalone inlay, and I think it's yellow
Power
G10.
shell.
Power shell.
Yeah, power shell, actually.
Power shell? Power shell?
Pua.
It's
Yeah.
not abalone?
It's not abalone,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought it was.
Yeah, it's some New Zealand.
And I'm the one that bought it from him and talked to him about it. and I already got it wrong.
Very different things here on the table.
He was gonna use Westinghouse micarta for that, but the piece he had wasn't quite thick enough.
Ah, that would have been really nice.
Yeah, so Westinghouse
Yeah.
micarta, that would have been a nice touch. I mean, that's an old school.
Yeah,
like,
but I
that
mean-
shit's getting way hard to find.
But even still, like the little bit of color in here goes really well with the yellow.
Yeah, and that's why he went with yellow G10 is because the Westinghouse micarta is yellow, and so like he already had the look in mind.
Yeah.
And when the Westinghouse wouldn't work, he's like, all right, yellow G10, I can still kind of make the overall design work. But I talked to him about that thong hole too, and I was like, how in the hell did you cut an oblong thong hole? And he's like, he wouldn't tell me, but he's like, dude, I'm not doing it again. It wasn't
Yeah,
easy.
man, I wouldn't even notice that touch. Yeah, that
I
must
just
have been a
imagined
pain
him
in the
as a
ass.
scroll
Yeah.
saw with a diamond fucking blade on
Yeah.
it just forever.
Like a
A
diamond
file.
file, just like fucking in front of the TV, just bored as shit.
Yeah, man, I think as far as like all the makers I've seen up here, he definitely does some of the most like
Fanciful.
kind of eccentric work, you know?
Yeah, well, and I will say,
Whimsy. Whimsy is the design he makes.
I will say with his blend of materials, it really shows off his ability for fit and finish.
Totally.
And really is when you take his stuff and compare it to other makers, they have knives that look cool, but it's easy to make a knife that has one handle material look good and like. But his ability to make really good materials that burn and grind
And
at different rates.
I mean, it's seamless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you close your eyes, you can't feel that there's a
Yeah.
bolster there.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And you can feel the pins barely, but you can and the only reason you feel the inlay is you don't feel the transition, you feel the texture of the inlay. So when you close your eyes, you can feel that there's an inlay there, but you can't feel where it transitions, which is an impressive thing to do.
I gotta say, of all the knives he's brought in, this is that and the weird cock and balls dagger he had with the weird retention on it.
Okay.
What?
All right.
Yeah, we sold that a while ago.
Oh,
yeah.
that
Frisco
was-
dagger. Yeah.
Yes.
That
I'm
was-
like, what is this? I should know
That
what
was,
this is.
he is the director of Frivolity and Whimsy. And it's great.
Oh, boy.
And I got to tell you, of all the folders he's brought in, this one's probably my favorite because it's actually the most practical and like
It's
just
carryable, and that's a good-looking piece of burl too.
It's
He's got a
also-
lot of detail in
It's
there.
100-year-old English walnut out of like a gun stock or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the gun stock from the gun that we did for Ray?
I don't
No, was that?
remember.
No, did Denny do that or did Larry?
Finish
Larry
it?
did the trigger work. Denny did the stock.
No, Don did the stock.
Don did the stock.
Don did the stock, and he had to do it 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then never mind.
Because there was a fly in it, and so, but like his even his file work is nice. Do you
It's-
guys know who Rupel is? Bill Rupel?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I remember that
Like
knife.
$1,100, old man trapper.
Yep.
That's a Bill Rupel, and Rupels will be like that. But when you open up an old man, like the file work will transition
It lines up.
seamlessly into
Mm-hmm.
the back. Like Denny's file work kind of reminds me of Rupel, and Rupel makes really good stuff. And I
Yeah.
like that he changes up his pattern and doesn't just use the what is now would be called like the Pakistani file work pattern.
Yeah,
That's on
yeah.
everything,
Uh-huh.
and he makes a point to show that his is unique and hand done. Really, really good attention to detail. Really fine maker. In fact, he stopped making knives for a while, and it was kind of disappointing. And now I'm glad that he comes in fairly regularly. We see him every 3 months or so. He'll bring in a new one.
Yeah.
Every time he brings one in, it's a fun combination of like whimsy and eye roll. Like, are you fucking serious? And then I look at it, I'm like, this is actually really well made.
Well, it's
If you decided to make something else, you'd make so much money, but you do this.
you can't doubt the quality of work.
He's an artist.
Yeah,
certainly
he's
there.
definitely an artist. He's definitely an artist.
I love that. It's just, what's that? Oh, that's alligator skin with blue dyed ostrich leather and a little bit of giraffe
Yeah.
and this and that and a little bit of elephant. It's just like, what?
It's almost like he goes on like where he buys materials and he sorts by weird. And he's like, oh, just adds it to cart. Like this has got to be one of the most traditional things I've ever seen him make.
Yeah, and even that's like
And even that's
a little out there.
Yeah, it's a little out there, but it's
Yeah.
but it's I could almost see like Campbell making this. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
Like out of
that
Moose
would
Pass.
be.
You
I
know,
mean, this
something
would
like
be
that.
a very Campbell thing.
Yeah, it's a very but it's a Jokela.
It's not soldered though. Yeah. I mean, he's been a friend of the shop for a long time.
Yeah.
Nice guy, makes cool stuff.
He was just in here the other day.
I really want to cut a watermelon in half with that.
You
Just
gotta buy it
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, you gotta buy it first.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
right.
like it that much. Slink away, plebe.
Jesus.
All right. On that note, thank you for joining us on this ramble about Alaskan and one of our favorite makers. And
Like
we'll
and
see you next
subscribe
week.
and comment and all
Yeah.
that crap.
NorthernKnives.com. Boop, 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 boop.
Did he have Gary make the sheets, or did we have?